Salutations and welcome to the farm. It is Christmas morning and it's time to make our traditional Christmas breakfast. The only thing missing is we don't have our boys here with us, but I've been making this dish for Christmas morning for several years, except for last year we did an Amish casserole for breakfast. But this year, Papa Jim has requested that we have our old famous standby, and we're going to be making raspberry stuffed French toast. So I've got my ingredients gathered here, and I know some of you are going to say, no, country mama, don't. You've had a diagnosis of diabetes, you can't have this. Well, I can, and I'm going to show you how. I was able to pick up some bread that has 1 net carb per slice, so I can have the bread. The whipped cream cheese I can have, the eggs I can have, and I put some whole cream in here to make my batter that I'll be dipping these in. And then for the raspberry preserves, I did pick up some sugar-free raspberry preserves, so no added sugar, so I can have these. However, not only did they leave the sugar out, but they took the seeds out, and I love to have my raspberry jam with a little bit of seeds. So I'm going to sneak just a little bit of just some regular raspberry preserves that have the seeds in them. I only put about a tablespoon or 2 in, mixed it in here, and they're going to go into and onto our sandwiches. So let me show you how we're going to build these. Let's get them assembled and then we'll get the griddle out. So to make your sandwiches, what you want to do is just take your first piece of bread. These are for our stuffed French toast. Did I say grilled cheese earlier? Did I say grilled cheese? This is for our stuffed French toast. The first thing you want to do is get just a nice little healthy dollop of whipped cream cheese. If you get whipped cream cheese, it's going to spread easier onto your sandwich. Now, I like just using the whipped cream cheese. I have a very dear friend who tried this recipe and she felt that it was too tangy. She wanted it a little sweeter, so she added some confectioner's sugar, just a little bit. But I don't like to do that. I like it just this way. So a little bit of whipped cream cheese. And to that, we're just going to take a spoonful of our raspberry preserves. Okay, 2 little spoonfuls. These are just little spoons from the yogurt shop. And we're just going to set that in the center there, and we're going to spread it around a little bit and just top it with another piece of bread. Now what I'm going to do is, once I get all of these done, I'm going to take these little French toast sandwiches and dip it in our batter, and then we'll get them on the griddle. So let me finish getting these put together. Super simple, right? I've got enough here for Papa and Jim and I to have 2 each. And that will be more than enough. These are very filling. I do wish my boys were here. They're all having Christmas morning with their own families. And we won't deny them that one bit. I'm glad they're making memories with their babies. And I'm hoping this is a recipe that at some point they will make for their children on Christmas morning and pass that on. One more to build. Okay, let's get our griddle. So I've got our griddle out, it's warming up, and you know what I'm gonna do while I'm waiting for it to warm up? I'm going to enjoy my coffee that Papa Jim just made for me, and he actually ground the coffee beans in one of our vintage coffee grinders. It's one that my father gifted me the very first time I met him. I met him when I was 43 years old, and after our meeting and spending some time together as we left, he said, I have a gift for you. And he gifted me this vintage coffee grinder. And he had no way of knowing that when my grandfather passed away in 1991, the one thing I wanted was his vintage coffee grinder, and I didn't get it. but my biological father gave me his. So neat. I love it. We've never used it to grind coffee, but Papa Jim ground up some beans this morning and made us some coffee. Delicious. It works so well for probably being well over 100 years old. Okay, so our griddle is warmed up. Let's make some stuffed French toast. I think I'm gonna turn it down just a little bit. It's smoking hot. So I've got my griddle at about 300, so a medium-high heat. Now you may have noticed when I was making our sandwiches, I had some leftover jam. What you wanna do is you wanna heat this jam up. This is gonna be poured over our French toast once we have them done. So I just take this, I'm just gonna set this in the little corner here and let that heat warm that up. And I have a mixture here. It's 6 farm fresh eggs and about 1/4 cup of whipping cream just to make my batter for my French toast. And we're just going to take our little constructed French toast that has the whipped cream cheese and the raspberry preserves in the center, and we're just gonna give them a really nice thorough dip. Now, I don't like dragging my French toast across the griddle and you get all those little stringy things. So one thing I like to do is I like to pick one up that hasn't been dipped yet, and I like to use that as a little bit of a buffer. And use it so you don't drip everything everywhere. So here's our second one. Be generous with that egg mixture. You want it to coat nicely. Now I'm recording this morning, even though I'm technically not dressed for it, early Christmas morning, because I did a live last night and Brenda Baker said, oh, when you make those French toast, please record it. She wanted to see it. So not only is this for Papa Jim, but Brenda Baker, this is for you. So here's our last one. And there's that stringiness I was talking about. One of my pet peeves. So I have enough egg batter left over. If I wanted to, I can make scrambled eggs out of it. I'll do something with this a bit later. I've used up all the bread, so we won't be making any extras. But now we're just going to let these cook. I'm going to stir up our preserves a little bit. We want these to get nice and warm. Make sure you have a dish that can handle the heat. You can pop it in the microwave if you want. Or you can just put this in a saucepan as well. You don't have to do it on the griddle. I figured since I had the griddle out, I'd go ahead and just do it on the griddle and cross my fingers that it doesn't break the bowl. I lost my spatula. I don't know where my spatula is. Oh, I see it. Ta-da! Found my spatula. So let's see if these are ready to flip over. You want a nice, beautiful golden brown. You want some crisp to them. Just about there. Now you want this on a low enough heat where it does give it that brown coloring, the crispiness to the outside of your French toast. You don't want it too high because you don't want them to burn. Let's flip these over and see how they look. That's beautiful. Can you see that? It's a little bit crispy. Not too much though. Beautiful. I'm going to give these a few more seconds because they were the last to go on. Now we just wait for the other side to cook through and then stir up our jam. Now you're going to see that as this heats up, it gets a really nice kind of a sauce consistency. Yeah, we're gonna put that over our French toast once they're done. So we've got a beautiful color on our French toast. They're nice and brown and crispy. The cream cheese is melting and the jam is getting all nice and bubbly inside. So I'm going to go ahead and plate these and then we're going to dress them up and show you how we serve them. Now you don't have to, but one thing that I like to do is I do like to cut them on the diagonal and then put them on the plate pretty. The pizza cutter works great for that. Use your spatula to kind of help you stabilize your French toast and then just cut it in half. across the diagonal is best with your pizza cutter, and then get them onto your plate. And I'm gonna hold one up and show you just how beautiful they are on the inside. Look at that beautiful stuffed French toast. Oh, so delicious. And then I like to lay them side by side on a diagonal so that they look pretty. I'll show you that in just a moment. Let me get these others cut. Now, I'm one for excess, so I like to use a lot of the cream cheese so it kind of oozes out when I cut them. You don't have to use this much if you don't want to. And another thing I want to caution you on is the filling is going to be hot. Now, if you want to make extras of these and then keep them in your fridge, you can pop them in your air fryer for a really nice treat the next day. Get this girl out of the way. Okay, so we have our French toast all plated. Let's dress it up for something worthy of a Christmas morning. So as you can see, I've cut them into their diagonals. I've kind of staggered them and layered them. And the next thing we're going to do is, I have my raspberry sauce that was warming on the griddle. I switched out my little spoon for a larger spoon because, like I said, I'm a person of excess. So let's go ahead, we're gonna drizzle some of the raspberry preserves over the top of our French toast. And like I said, remember, this is hot. Delicious, look at this. Beautiful strawberry glaze. But I'm not done, no. Now, we're gonna take some whipped cream and put whipped cream on top. 1 carb, I can have this in moderation. I won't have this every day, but I can have some whipped cream. Look at that. My whipped cream kind of splattered everywhere. But look at that beautiful plate of French toast for Christmas morning. Let's go ahead and get Papa Jim's all dressed up. I'm out of whipped cream. Okay, Papa Jim, come eat, baby.
Oh my gosh.
So as requested, you're a little bit high on the camera there. As requested, stuffed French toast for Christmas morning from our farm to yours. Merry Christmas, Papa Jim. And let's see how this tastes. Now remember, the filling's gonna be hot. Well, let's get a first taste in here. Make sure you get a little bit of the whipped cream and your first bite with all of that cream cheese and raspberry. It's hot, I can see it steaming. Oh, that's good. That is good. I guarantee if you make this for your family, they're going to love it. So again, from our farm to yours, Merry Christmas, and we will see you in the new year. Bye-bye.
That's good.
Yummy.